Hi everyone, and welcome to a new series. We are now going to start playing Timberborn as our Friday game for the next little while. We're currently playing on Update 4. Update 5 is on the experimental branch, which releases soon. I'm not entirely sure when. But we're going to play on Update 4 for the time being until that comes into the main branch. So Timberborn is still in early access. You can get it on Steam, and you get to play as a colony of beavers and grow them up and see how far you can go. So we're going to be starting a new game. I prefer playing the folktales. They're just a little bit more fun to me. But the Iron Teeth are good as well. So we're going to choose the folktales. And we're also going to choose the diorama map. And it's relatively small, at least compared to all of the other maps. And we're going to see how we go on it. Eventually, when we get to Update 5, we'll choose one of the other maps. Probably Meander is the one I'm looking at. But for now, we're going to play Diorama as the Folktales. In terms of difficulty, we'll play this series on hard, simply so that we're in a place when Update 5 gets released that we can hopefully just easily transition straight into it. Custom is quite nice because it lets you control a whole lot of different things about how the game works. But for the time being, we're going to play on hard. Let's get into it. And here we go. We are in. We need to name our settlement something. We are going to call it YouTube Landia. I'm going to say okay, then I'm immediately going to pause it with the spacebar. So we can see we've got our beavers down here. They're still clipping over each other a little bit, but they're there. They're coming out of our district center. And if we have a look around the map, it's quite small. We've got one river running down the middle, coming from a waterfall up here. We've got some trees, some berries here, some ruins where we can get some metal, and up here as well. Some dandelions over here. We use those for healing, and some more trees down here. You also see in the top left that we've got a whole bunch of different sections. This first one is how the well-being of our beavers are currently 0 because it hasn't had a chance really to do much. The next is our science. We haven't got any science unlocked yet. Next is our materials. So this goes what goes into building stuff. The fourth one is the ingredients for food. The fifth one is how much food available we've got in total. Next is our timber that we have on hand, and lastly how much water we've got. So we need to make sure that we're always keeping our beavers fed and they always have a drink. So before we unpause, we're going to come down here into water, get a water pump, and put down 2 of them. Initially, we start with 12 beavers, 8 adults, and 4 children. So the children can't work until they're grown up, but the adults definitely can. So let's put a path in there for them to walk along. We'll put a path over here to our berries, then we'll come down to food, get a gatherer's flag, and put this over here. So this will let one of our beavers collect food. We're going to have 2 beavers pumping water. We also need some wood. If we click on one of these, we can see it's a construction site. It's waiting for materials. It needs 12 logs. So we get those from cutting down trees. So let's bring our path over here a bit further. And under wood, we can go to the lumberjack flag. Let's maybe, because we've just started, let's put 2 down so that we can get a little bit more timber created sooner. We're going to need to put that timber somewhere. So each of these, once it's finally built, will have 20 capacity. In storage, we can use a large pile to store 180 items. So we can click on it, and then under the question mark for what to store, we're going to say logs. We also want to get these built first, so we can click on them and say highest priority for these two, and also one of the water pumps, highest priority. We need to get those done fast. But we also want beavers working here, like guaranteed to be working here. So we're going to put them on the highest priority workplace. So this means that these jobs will get filled before any others. And also the gatherer's flag over here. We want to make sure that we've always got someone gathering food, at least initially. So we'll have it built fast, and we'll say prioritize this workplace. And then we can press spacebar so that they start moving around. We can also click on the district center and say we actually want a few more workers. And at the moment, we're going to click on the fast forward up in the top corner so they get moving around a little bit quicker. I will just pause temporarily. You'll see they've got this little question mark, like, what do we do? There's nowhere to work. The notifications in the bottom left, nothing to do in range. That's because we haven't marked these trees to be cut down yet. So we can come down the bottom to cut trees. We can click on the mark tree cutting area. We're going to say cut down all of this here. That's what we want cut down. We'll press play again, and they're immediately going to come in here and start cutting down trees. And you can see we haven't got enough timber for all of our beavers to be building. We've got a guy over here picking berries. Eventually, I'll just pause temporarily, like he's basically filled up already. So let's give him some storage. So berries go into warehouses. So let's put a warehouse here. We can turn it around and say it's up against the path. We'll click on it, and then we want this to store berries. We're also going to need the same thing for our water. Unfortunately, all we've got at the moment is these small tanks. So let's put 2 of them in there, immediately opposite the doors, so that our builders can build these tanks to help us store some water. And we'll keep going on fast forward for a little while. You can see up here, we had 4 water for a moment, it's back down to 0. So there is a night cycle in this game. You'll see them in a moment that they're just going to go to sleep out on the grass because we don't have houses for them yet. In the top right, this yellow section is when they're working, so it's the daylight. The blue section is the nighttime. That's normally when they don't work. That can be adjusted with the plus and minus if you want them to work more or less. I'll just pause for a moment. We'll see we've got a notification building lacks workers. So this pump here doesn't have anyone to work in it. So we're also going to super high prioritize it so that we always have someone working here. And you'll see that that took one of the workers from this lumberjack flag, but we still want people working here. But we don't want it to be the most important, but we want it pretty important. So we'll click the second most priority. And the same with this other lumberjack flag, the second most priority. Because we want them working, but not too much. We can see over here we've got our hut built. Eventually, we're going to get to a drought. This game is all about how do you manage to survive the drought. And to do that, we're going to need to store some water here. So I'm just going to pause for a moment. In landscaping, there's this item called a dam. So we're going to need to put dams across the river so that we keep some water here. And keeping some water here will mean that during the drought season, we've always got water to keep going. So where should we put it? We could put one there and there. That's the least number of squares, but they'll be hard to build. So we're actually going to put them across here. because that will give us a little bit more water, and they can just walk along here to build them. We can't get across to the other side yet, but that's okay. We're still able to build these. Now, to unlock anything, you'll see all of these have this little padlock on them. They need science to unlock. So we're going to, under science, inventors, put in maybe 2 inventors' huts. We can see down here, this barrel's like, I don't know what you want me to store. We can click on it and say water. And this one as well, we know we're going to want it for water too. So this guy already got 14 water, 28 water. So that just gives us a bit more capacity to store water. And these dams have started getting built. That's awesome. Now we're going pretty quickly through these trees, so we might want to get up to this next area. We can't put a path through there because this tree started to grow. So maybe we need to go around. There's already some stairs here to climb up the hill. Let's go like this. We'll go wood, lumberjack flag, and we'll put 2 more up there. And we'll not forget to mark this whole area for cutting down. Now these 2, we don't want these to be done yet. We want to eventually move these 2 lumberjacks up here. So we'll set them as a slightly lower priority for now. So that if we've got any beavers just sitting around doing nothing, they can come up here and work. But otherwise, we want them doing other jobs. So we've got 2 priorities at the moment. One is building these dams, and the second one is building our science huts. So this science hut's got a little bit of building going. This dam, almost done. We also need the beavers to have roads to walk on. They don't like to... I'll just pause temporarily. They don't like to walk on the grass. So maybe we'll put a road across here. So that would just let them move around a bit. So what we just had was a drought warning. So in 3 days, there's going to be a drought coming. That means we need this dam built as soon as possible. Because if we don't have a dam here, we'll have no water come the drought, which means that we're going to not make it through. So how are they going here? So 1 more log, and then we'll have this dam built. So now all of this water will be kept during the drought. This bit will flow off the map, but the rest will be kept. And that will be very nice indeed. We've also got 2 scientists now, which is going to be helpful. It will start getting us a little bit of science to help us start unlocking some things. We probably do need to get across to these berries, because we've picked all of our berries over here, and our beavers are still out sleeping on the grass. So maybe we need to give them some houses. In terms of how the folktales get new baby beavers, they have to be living in a house, and it has to have some spare capacity. To start with, the only houses that we have are lodges and mirrored lodges. The rest that are a bit more space efficient require science to unlock. So let's just get some lodges. These store 3 beavers each, and we've currently got 12 beavers. So we'd need 4 houses to store our current beavers, and then if we want to get any more, we need more than 4 houses. So maybe we can put 2 there. We'll put 2 here, and then maybe 1 more there. And that will let us get 3 additional beavers to work. Because currently all of our beavers are adults. We've got 12 jobs and 1 vacancy. 12 workers and 1 vacancy. So we're already short 1 beaver to do all of the jobs that we've got around. These guys down here, they can reach all the way up here. Well, that's good. What about this one? Wow, I didn't think they'd go that far. But they can also reach down here. So I think we should probably mark this for cutting as well. So they'll come down here and cut these trees. You can see we've got a couple of logs. It's going to go up now because we're not building. We've got 12 beavers with beds. We've got 3 empty beds. No one homeless. So that's nice. You'll also see our well-being has gone up to 1. That's because they're all hungry. They've all got food. They've all got a drink. They've all got sleep. But now only 9 out of 12 haven't slept in their shelter yet. Because they haven't gone through a night time. Now we can do more things to help them feel a bit better. That's all we're going to do for the moment. But there are a few more things we can do. We can also see our food is getting kind of low. Oh, here we go. Our beavers are happier than ever. We've reached a well-being score of 3. Now 4. So let's put a dam here. And we want this dam to be built really quickly. We're also going to build a path over here because we want to be able to pick these berries. So let's put a gatherer's flag here. We'll say build this really quickly, and it's really important that you get berries. And this guy over here, we're going to pause him for the moment because there's no berries left. Until they start growing back, he can't really do much. Now food is going to be something that we're continually battling. Eventually, we'll get bakeries, grills. So grill is helpful because it lets us make potatoes. So they're a bit more advanced food, but they provide more sustenance for our beavers. Just pause for a moment. I wasn't quite paying attention, but we went into the drought. So what that means is up here on the top of our waterfall, these 2 tiles that produce water have stopped producing water. We've still got water in here because of our dam, but downstream it's all dried up. We'll press play again. And these trees down here, they're going to die 9.4 days. This guy's still alive, but they're going to die eventually just because they don't have any water. So that's something that we'll need to be aware of, particularly when we start using this land to do more stuff about keeping things alive. Now we will need some type of farm. We can't rely on these berries forever. So it's under food and under gather a flag. Not under gather a flag. What am I talking about? Under the efficient farmhouse. So that lets us build a farm where we can grow some crops. Now we can't really use this land up here because it's brown. That means that there's no water, so everything will just dry out. There are some tricks you can use to make it fertile, so green, but we need some science points to get there. We need the water dump to be able to do things like that. So for the time being, we're just going to build a farm down the bottom here near the river. Maybe right here like this. It's going to need to grow something. So down here under crops, let's plant carrots, and we'll plant them all across here. And maybe we'll plant them in these little gaps as well. We'll need some storage for our carrots. So let's get a medium warehouse. Maybe we'll put it this way. And then we can run a path across here. And this we want to say store carrots. We can click on the farmhouse and see exactly how far it reaches. So we could plant carrots all up here, all over here, in all of these other little places. I think that might be a bit too much, but maybe along here, we can just squeeze in a couple more carrots just for now, until we can get a bigger farm going up on the top of the hill up here. So that will help us get moving. In terms of our science, we've got 140, 150 science. I'm just going to pause for a minute. I just noticed our well-being of our beavers is -7. They're all hungry. There's no food anywhere. All of our berries here are gone. All of our berries up here are gone. There's a couple of berries up here, but they're drying out. 5.1 days. So they might make it until the new wet season comes. We're going to have to try, because our carrots that we've just planted, they're still a few days away. So we'll leave it paused for the moment. We need to get a path all the way up to this berry farm. Except there's no stairs here, so we can't get up there yet. That's not the best. Let's draw the path in as if we were able to get up there. And then across here. And then, so what we need here is some stairs. So this is the stairs. 70 science. We can unlock that. We've got 150. Or we had 150. And we'll plop that in here. Now this needs logs and planks. Logs we've got plenty of. They're right here. Planks, we don't have any planks. Planks actually come from the lumber mill. And the lumber mill needs power. So if we look in power, we've got water wheels. So they sit in water and rely on running water to actually generate power. We've got power wheels, so they're essentially hamster wheels for beavers. And then we've got some windmills a bit later on for lots of science. This is a battery, so it stores power. Then these are all of our power connections, if we need to connect power between different places. So we might put a water wheel in here. Maybe there. Because we saw that the power is coming out this side. And then, under wood, we can get a lumber mill. And put a lumber mill here. So that we can create some planks. So you can see our beavers have a hungry symbol. If we click on one of them, they're a little bit hungry, but not like life-threatening hungry yet. So we've still got a little bit of a chance. So in terms of this, the water wheel is almost completely built. Being finished now. There we go. One water wheel. Our lumber mill needs a few more bits of timber. That will be done in the morning when the beavers come back to work. Overnight, our water source is going to start generating water again. We can probably sit here and look at it when it starts. So there we go. Drought's ended. Our plants up here have all come back to life. And water has started pouring out again. So we still need a few more logs to be able to finish building our warehouse. And then we need logs to turn into planks. So these two lumberjacks up here, I'm going to unpause them and pause these two down here because we want the two lumberjacks up the top to be filled because there's still a little bit of timber up there. So we didn't get much that day. Maybe we'll slow this down to medium speed. All of our beavers are asleep. We've got 12 adults, 2 kits, a baby beavers, and still 1 free bed. We look at one of these guys. So they're pretty hungry now. We've still got no berries close by. Some of these have berries that are nearby. $96. Everyone's going a bit slower because they're hungry. They've got no food. We can see this guy carrying a log down. I mean, look how hungry he is. Beaver will die soon. That's not great. We need one more log down here, fellas. That's all we need. Let's speed this up a bit. So here comes our last log. Okay, I'm gonna pause because we definitely want someone working in here. So we'll make this a bit higher priority. Our scientists, we can turn one of them down a little bit because we're always generating a little bit of science. We don't need a lot just yet. But we've now got someone producing planks. And with someone producing planks, we can create these stairs. And when we can create those stairs, we can get someone in this gatherer flag up here. We want it massively high priority, massive workplace priority, and getting berries. And I'm going to pause because over here, some of these berries have just come back alive again. So let's unpause that gatherer's flag. And pause this one. We'll press play. Don't know why he's picked so many dandelions. But we've got someone working over here. Prioritizing berries. Oh, we can see some people are starting to die of hunger. Oh. Hopefully. Oh no, we're down to 7 beavers. So we need people in our farm. Let's turn that up. We need people out here picking berries. That's important. We've got no lumberjacks left. So we don't need you anymore. We'll happily go down to 1 lumberjack. Down to 1 person producing water, because we've only got 5 beavers left. But we've got tiny, tiny, tiny amounts of food. And tiny, tiny, tiny amounts of food will be enough for us to just keep edging on by. So we've got 8 jobs that are unfilled. In terms of farmers, we're going to go down to 1 farmer. So he's picking carrots now. That's going to be excellent. Let's turn you off. We don't want you working. We don't want either of our science people working. Let's go down to 1. Let's actually pause this. So we've got 3 adults. So we've got 1 person producing water. And let's say 2 people getting food. So that's our three jobs right there. Both of them absolutely critical for keeping the colony going. We can't really do much until we get a couple more beavers, but for the time being, they'll keep us alive. Well, look at this. We've got no beavers, but they're massively happy because they've started getting to eat some carrots. So they're going to go to sleep again, but none of them are hungry, none of them are thirsty. That's always good. Let's turn our workers back down to 1. And we're going to turn this lumberjack back on. So we get a couple of bits of timber. Because we want to finish building. Wait, we've got a worker in here. Look at this. Let's actually have a second, get that second farmer back then. This timber guy, run out of timber to cut. He's fired. Let's bring him down here to create some planks for us. So we just need enough planks. We need 2 planks. We've got 1 plank. And eventually, we'll get a second plank. We're up to 3 planks. So we can pause this guy now, and he can come back and become a builder. So we're very much hustling between jobs at the moment, just to keep everyone's absolutely critical in the things that they need to do. There's no time for messing around. Now these 2 lumberjack flags are not actually going to do anything anymore. These trees are cut down. We're done here. So let's delete them. Now this guy, he brought planks up. He built this, and then he immediately went to start farming berries, because it's high priority, which is more than being a builder. We also gonna bump our farmers back down by 1 and turn this gatherer's flag back on. That's so that we can get some more berries gathered. We've also got a drought coming again in 1.3 days. Not very long at all. We're also going to need some timber soon. So in advance, let's put a lumberjack flag up the top here. Let's mark this area for cutting down. If we click this, we can also see we can cut down all of the trees up here that it can reach. So let's mark all of this for cutting down too. And now we've got a new kit just been born. So they'll grow up in a couple of days, and then their first job is going to be cutting down some timber for us. So it was pretty close, but we seem to have survived it. I'm going to leave this gatherer's flag because there's some berries here that will grow back. I think our carrots might have saved us. How many do we have? We're up to 150 food. That's amazing. It would be nice if we could have a few more kits, but that's what it is. Now this area, we're not going to be cutting trees up here anymore. So let's unmark it as a tree cutting area. It's done. That single square there, let's put some carrots there. Now that the guys have cut the trees down. This time, we've got a 7-day drought. Bit longer than last time. We'll survive through it. The drought wasn't what caused us the issue. It's that we ran out of food. So what else do we need? So we've got some platforms here we could use. There's also some levees and floodgates we can use to manage. Dynamite is nice. The water dump would be really nice, which will let us start using this area up here. So we'd need 250 science for the water dump. But to make it work, we need another 120 science for levees. And we're not quite there yet. We don't have the beavers on hand. Especially when one just died of old age. So this guy up here, we're going to pause him because these berries have dried out and he's picked them all. So there's no point sticking around up there anymore. It's way more important that he's down here getting us some water. Who would have thought we would have started so dramatically? Now, we've still got 2. Wait, we've only got 1 farmer in here. 1 farmer. Oh, this guy picking berries. I think we're going to pause our berry farmer. He's basically done. He can become a builder so that we build this lumberjack flag. We've only got a couple of beavers around. They're pretty lonely looking. We've gone to bed for the night. He's going to come up here and finish building this. Let's make it a bit higher priority So he comes up here and starts cutting these trees down. So we've now got one guy cutting trees, one guy pumping water, one guy producing food. And if we need to, we can move Kiramem down here to food or water as we need to. I can't pronounce that name. Ozuan and Dorligax. Both looking after our food and water. And then we've got our kit here. Just like running around. Zodok. It's 4 years old. He's got to grow up soon, right? He was born 4 days ago. So let's look at this. Dorligax, day 2-4. He was born on 1-7. It can't be too much longer before we can start getting some work out of Zodok. Now, one other thing that we will need is more trees. So as much as we want to get this area up here green, we need to get some more trees working first. And in wood, we do that with the forester. It takes 10 logs and 7 planks, 60 science to unlock. And what it lets us do is it lets us plant trees in fertile areas. So I'll plop this down. It's going to be a while until we can build it because we don't have any builders, because we don't have any spare beavers. But eventually we'll be able to build this. And then in terms of trees we can build, birch grows the fastest but only gives you 1 log. All the way up to oak takes 30 days to grow but gives you 8 logs, so it's way more efficient. But at the moment we're going to go for a mix of birch and pine because they both grow a bit faster. Birch because it's a bit faster even though it gives less logs, and pine to kind of round it out a little bit. So let's put some pine down the bottom here and birch up here. Eventually we'll upgrade them to oak trees, but for now we just need some timber. Not necessarily a lot, just some. So we're up to 56 logs. This guy cut down all of this, started working up here. That's nice. Zodok has grown up and he's a builder. So he should be starting to come and build our forester here, and he is. And there's a couple of planks that he started to use as well. But we need some more planks. So we'll unpause this, and Zodok is going to have to come down here. Oh wait, but there's no water. Let's not do that. Let's put him back over here as a berry farmer for now. Just because we need something. Or maybe we'll get him working in the science factory. Not the district center. We want him working in the science factory. At least until we can get some water flowing to produce some planks, which will let us start having some tree regeneration. And until then, we can produce a little bit of science. We're up to 6 beavers now, 4 adults, 2 kits. Equinus and Teshi are 2 kits. This guy 20% of the way. 2 years old. Equinus, age 1, only 6% of the way. So they'll grow up eventually, but we started to get a little bit of science again, because we really want to make this area up here fertile. There's a lot of logs stored here. Kiramem spending a lot of time walking between places. It isn't the best, but unfortunately, it's what we've got right now. And we've also got some berries over here if we need them, so we should be good on food now for a while. At least while we've only got a couple of beavers around. I think as well... can we mark some of these? Yep, so that one as well, we want pine. You can see some of these are dark brown, and then they're like a cracked brown. So they're the ones that are in this non-fertile area. So they won't actually plant trees there, because they can't grow. So we'll need to work out how to manage that later. But for now, just getting some trees in there would be nice. But to do that, we need some planks. Our drought is over. The waterfall has started again, which means the water in here is rising. So we want to turn the lumber mill on so that Zodok can come and make us some planks. We don't need many. We only need another 6. Oh, of course it's going to go straight into nighttime when he's not going to be able to work. We've also got all of these planks over here, these trees over here as well. But to get there, we need a little bridge across here. We don't really want to use dams, because that will slow down our water wheel, which will mean it produces less power. But we do want to get across here to all of these trees. So that's eventually, we'll get to these platforms. Will let us do that. Bridge across here without interrupting the water flow. 6 planks. So let's pause this now. I'm going to turn our builder back on so that he comes to build this. 5, 7. Let's turn that down a little bit. Wait, where did Zodok go? We've lost him. Works at the inventor's hut. Let's turn the inventor down a bit as well. I'll put this back to normal, because we want Zodok working over here. We're also going to say prioritize the pine trees, just because there's a few less of them. They'll take a bit longer to grow, but they give us more timber. Okay, I think, even though we had a pretty shaky start there for a bit, I think we're kind of managing this now. I mean, it's still pretty shaky, but not quite as shaky as it was. We've got a forester in. We're back up to 6 beavers. This guy up here, we've got plenty of logs, we've got plenty of water, we've got way plenty of food. If we look at where our beavers are working, got 1 at the water pump, 1 at the lumberjack, 1 at the farmhouse, 1 at the forester, and 2 kids about to grow up. So when those 2 kids grow up, where are they going to go? Oh, 1 is going to come in here to this lumberjack flag. It's going to look after this area right here. The second one? I think the second one we're going to have as a builder. Or maybe an inventor. So that we can start getting some more science again. Up here. I mean, we've still got some trees up there. So we'll leave that turned on. But we'll turn on this lumberjack flag down here. Okay. You be a bit less important, thank you. Look, Teshi and Equinox have grown up. So where are 2 jobs without anyone? The inventor's hut and the lumberjack flag up there. Okay, let's pause that. And we've got a builder. We don't have a builder anymore. Because Kiramim died of old age. Oh no. But apparently we still have a kit. Well, Equinus is still a kit. Okay, so that's not too bad. What was Kiramim doing? I'm not entirely sure what they were doing. Oh, we're moving logs out of there. That's good. Who's doing that? Why are you doing that? You work at the water pump. Or is it because we're full of water? We're full of water. I think in that case, let's put in some more water storage. Oh, and Equinus grown up to be a builder. Excellent. So we've got a builder in Equinus. Dorlagax down here pumping water again. We've got some food piled up. Or lots of food piled up. Not a whole lot of water, but that's okay. We've got some timber here. That's good. No kits, unfortunately, which is not great. But we need to say these, we want them to store water. Water and water. So I think we'll come back next time and see how much longer we can survive. Up to cycle 3, day 6, the drought in 1.3 days. We don't know how long this drought's going to be, and we're still trying to recover our beaver population. So thank you everyone for stopping by today. I do hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, do consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. It does help out a lot. Otherwise, I'll catch you all next time. Thanks everyone. Bye for now.